What's up, guys? I'm Lemar. That's LJ. Welcome to the show. What the hell are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about the playoffs. Playoffs. We're going to
I knew
talk
you were gonna
about
say it.
first game of the playoffs. Cleveland, Golden State,
Did you just turn your
and
Did you turn your headphones up? Cause it just got louder once we started.
oh no, I didn't. I just turned my voice up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
projecting. I'm getting closer to the microphone,
All right then.
so that's when you're going to sound. You're going to sound more crisp.
Okay.
You know,
So what are you, Italian now?
yeah, more crisp.
Okay. All right. All right. So we'll start with the playoffs. All right. So just to get y'all caught up, I'm sure everybody knows, but the last thing we talked about last week was the game sevens were and Cleveland obviously won, and Golden State obviously won both game sevens on the road. And then we have Cleveland, Golden State 4. And so last night was game one, where Golden State won 124 to 114. And LeBron had 51 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Stephen Curry had a good game at 29 points. But let's talk about what the hell everybody's talking about today. Your boy
Let's talk
J.R. Smith.
about Mr. Earl Smith Jr.
This goddamn J.R. Smith, boy. I tell you, if y'all don't already know, I'm a big LeBron fan, so I'm rooting for Cleveland hard. But J.R. Smith just killed me last night. Like, what are you doing? Like, all right, if y'all don't already know, with 3 seconds left, George Hill is at the line to down, and they're down one, and he hits the first one to tie it up. And then he misses the second one. J.R. Smith gets the rebound. He's right in front of the basket. He could have just laid it up or tried to shoot it over Kevin Durant. And he runs it out thinking that they have the lead. And then basically lets the clock run out. And then they get smashed in overtime. So, what's your take on J.R. Smith's bonehead play?
Well, to be honest with you, it's just J.R. Smith being J.R. Smith. He did the same thing in New York, um, and now there's more accountability because he doesn't have Carmelo as the best player. Carmelo doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Uh, LeBron James cares, so he obviously was pissed because he put in a hell of an effort, only for J.R. Smith to say, "Oh, I thought the game was. Well, I thought we were up, so I threw the ball in the air." Like, why would you do something like that? Like you've been in this league. J.R. Smith has been in the NBA since 2004. Okay, he's been in the league for 14 fucking seasons. 14 seasons. Um, don't you think that you would have a little bit of awareness as to where you're supposed to be and what the game situation is, at what time, how much time's on the clock, what you have to do, what the plays are, or that just goes to prove that he's not professional.
Yeah,
He's never been professional.
Yeah, he had us fooled for the past couple of seasons because he hasn't done anything boneheaded or stupid, as far as I can remember anyway. But then the real Jr. showed up again. I was like, come on, you're way too experienced. It's not you're not just an NBA veteran. You're a championship, like you're a champion, and you've been in the finals for 4 years in a row. Like it's not just LeBron who's been in the finals a lot. You've been in the finals a lot. Like like you just this just should not happen. I'm like, I always feel bad for players when they do boneheaded things like this. I even have a little bit of that sympathy for Jr. But it just pisses me off so much. Like LeBron's legacy on the line here. Like they're already way outmatched. They go into game one on the road as a 13-point underdog. Like they were supposed to get smashed in this first game, and they came in and played a hell of a game. LeBron put up monster numbers. LeBron was excellent, dude. It's one thing to say the greatest player in the world is excellent, but he was like beyond excellent. Like he was 19 or 32 from the field. Like like he was excellent. And on top of getting his normal 8 rebounds, 8 assists, he was just he and That shit just shouldn't happen. Now, some people want to blame George Hill for missing a free throw. Yeah, George Hill should take some blame for missing a free throw. But I could understand missing a free throw. Like, that happens. People miss shots. And I mean, I would have been pissed off if he would have missed and they would have lost and the J.R. Smith didn't happen. I'd have been mad about that. But when you...
It's understandable.
Right. You can look past a missed free throw. People miss free throws under pressure. He's never been in the finals before. He missed... Like, there's actually an excuse for George Hill. Like, there's no excuse for J.R. Smith except for it's just him being him. Like, he like, now, there was a few other things in this game that cost them that was beyond their control. But but this one, like, but despite all that, they were in position to win, and then that happened. Now, the other thing that happened that, you know, was beyond their control was them looking at the replay on that charge that they called on Kevin Durant and overturning it and calling it a block. Now, although it can be a little controversial to some, like, LeBron was there. LeBron had position. He was moving a little bit, but you're allowed to move a little bit as long as you had the position first. He's gonna move a little bit. Now sometimes players are sliding under the screen. LeBron did not. I mean, under the play, LeBron was not sliding under. He was already there when he was moving. He got in position, then he was moving a little bit. And I guess that's what the refs saw, him moving a little bit. But they're officials. Like, y'all should know the difference between a charge, especially if you got a chance to look back at it and make a decision. If it's a bang play and you got to make a decision, I can understand that. You know, I can understand you making a bad call. But you went back and looked at this and decided to overturn this. Like, to me, that was absolutely ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, I think it was absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Okay, I was moving a bug from my face. I wasn't like, like, man.
No, I think it's a new thing now.
Like, man, come on.
I think, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this guy's fucking, he's fucking into it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
He was into it. He was doing some shit like this.
Yeah. What's your take on that, on the charge play?
I thought it was a bonehead call, you know. But the thing is, when the refs, like, all right, you have. This is why I don't understand about these calls. All right, when you have the technology to get the call right the first time, why not just get the call right the first time? Why make a call and then reverse the call? If you've watched it, why not just watch the call, make it, and then that's it?
Yeah, like they really screwed them on that. It's like, I could understand if it was bang, you only had one chance to make a call. That could be anybody can easily make a mistake in that situation. You went back. LeBron was pissed off too. Like, he was like, "That's bullshit." Like I don't ever see him do that. Like, he was like, "That's bullshit." Like, he was just going off.
I've seen him get pretty animated on the court. You know, I've seen that a few times from him. Especially when he was in Miami when he was younger, but what you call and this is understood because you know, like a lot of people are saying, oh, they're trying to fix the game so Golden State wins. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be the other way around?
No,
wouldn't they try to fix the game so that LeBron wins?
Right? Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Well, why would anybody buy that? Why would anybody ever even consider the NBA being against LeBron fucking James?
Right, I don't understand that. All right. So.
Yes. So like I was saying, man, that's what I was saying. The next time LeBron sees J.R. Smith in the locker room, just smack the shit out of him.
Yeah. During the press conference, I don't know if you saw any of the press conference. I saw some of the clips today. So LeBron ended up walking out of the press conference because the guy kept basically asking about that play, and LeBron already told him, was like, because LeBron covered for JR, he didn't say that he forgot, even though Tyronn Lue threw him under the bus. I ain't gonna say threw him under the bus. He just told the truth. He said he forgot what the score was, but JR didn't say that, and LeBron didn't say that. They was trying to keep that part under rest. Tyronn Lue was just like, He forgot what the score was. He thought we were winning. But LeBron,
Well,
the guy asked him. Go ahead.
well, Jr. said one thing, and then he changed his fucking story.
Oh, really?
First, he said that, oh yeah, I didn't know what the score was,
Oh,
and
so
then
he
he
didn't say it.
changed his story about LeBron has said. I thought he called a timeout, and I looked back at him. He was asking for the ball, and so I was going to pass the ball to him when the time came out. But no, he fucked up. He tried to cover it up.
Yeah, basically. Now, and I get LeBron, trying to back his teammate up. So, but yeah, like we saw Jr. mouth at the time. I thought we were winning, and then like I said, LeBron during the press conference, they was like, so what was your mindset? They was like, what was your take on it? He was like, uh. He's like, what do you mean? He was like, they was like, what do you think happened? He was like, I don't know what was going on in jail. He was like, I don't know. I'm not in J.R. Smith's head, so I can't tell you what he was thinking. And then it was like, well, did you talk to him about it? He's like, no. And he was like, so what's your opinion on it? He's like, what? He's like, I just told you. And he was like, so you didn't talk about it? He's like, didn't I just say no? And then he was like, what do you want me to? He's like, what do you want from me? Then he was like, the guy was like, just what you think happened. Do you think he didn't know what the score was? And then LeBron just got up and left. He was like, that's a
How many times you asking the same
I
question?
know. I'm like, he's not gonna answer it. You see, he's not gonna answer it. Just let it go. Just let it go. Like you,
Well, he gave him. It's not like he didn't answer him. He gave him an answer.
right,
It wasn't like he said, "Oh, I'm not going to give it." Like you, if it has something to do with the game and the guy's stonewalling you, then I understand.
right,
I understand why you're going to keep asking the same questions. Like, well,
right,
that's a question I'm going to ask, but he gave you an answer.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Whether
care
you
if you don't
believe
like
it,
it.
whether you believe it or not, he gave you the answer.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to change my answer because you worded it a different way.
Right.
It's my answer. If you want this to be, that's why I always respected Marshawn Lynch. I was just like, why do I have to speak to these people? I don't want
Right.
to speak to you.
Right, right. I'll show up like I'm supposed to, but I don't gotta tell y'all shit. I'll say
You know what I'm
it.
saying? Like because all you're gonna do is turn my words around. So
Right,
why do I care? I'm not
right.
gonna speak to you. But there's no reason for me to speak to you.
Yo,
All I want to do is play the game.
what if every athlete started just going? Y'all know why I'm here. What if everybody started doing it? Like Marshawn Lynch? Y'all know why I'm here.
They will start finding the shit. But then if you keep
No,
doing it, then
no. They'll have to change the rule because you can't find them as of now for it. As long as they show up to the press conference, it's up. As long as they don't use profanity or something like that, you can't really find them. They're obligated to show up.
if everybody in solidarity starts saying, "I don't know," oh my god,
I
that
know
would
that'd be crazy. That would cause a lot of problems.
that if you can't get anything from any NBA player, like all of them, well, the NBA don't really have anything to like really much worry about. It's the
No,
NFL
it's the
players.
NFL players that need that solidarity. If
The
they,
NFL players need a lot of solidarity. It would be nice if they did something in solidarity, but no one. But if like I think you noticed that from your personal life, no one does anything in solidarity.
no, yeah, pretty much firsthand for sure.
Yeah, you know that firsthand. Like you can come up with something that benefits everybody, that everyone should do, and it's gonna benefit every fucking body. But no one will fucking do it
Exactly.
because everyone's a fucking sheep. That's why.
All right, so moving on from that.
Yeah, let's move on.
so so at the very end of the game, after Golden State pretty much blew them out in overtime, Sean Livingston was going up for a shot because I guess the shot clock was going to run out before the game clock ran out. So he went up for the shot, which was perfectly normal, totally fine. It wasn't a 3-pointer. It wasn't like he was trying to run up the score. And then Tristan Thompson, as acts like he's defending the shot, but he throws the elbow at his chest or whatever. And I didn't see it at first, and I just saw the referee just throw him out. I was like, damn, what the hell just happened? And then Tristan Thompson looking like, what? So then when they finally showed the replay, I was like, oh. And then Tristan Thompson, because Draymond Green's being the dick that he is, just yelling all crazy and dumb. And so he's shoves the ball in his face or whatever. And it almost, at first I thought he'd throw a punch. And I was like, oh boy. Oh, not only that, I heard Kevin Love left the bench too. But
Yeah, he did leave the bench. That That was actually being talked about. And the first thing I thought about, and I know that you thought about it, was 1995 when the
No, that wasn't
Knicks and the
95.
Miami Heat
That
were
wasn't 90.
playing,
That wasn't 95.
and Charlie Ward, huh?
That was 90. That wasn't 95. That was more like 97 or
No,
something.
you're 97. My bad,
Somewhere,
97.
somewhere in
I'm
that
sorry.
general area.
Yeah, 97. Yeah. So yeah, it was the was it the
Or
Eastern
98.
Conference
Might have
Finals or
been
was it?
98 even.
No, it was 98. It was 97.
Because I think that was the. That might have been the. Was that the year before we went to the finals?
That was a few years before we went to the finals. That was
Maybe
97.
two
That was
years.
definitely
Maybe 2 years. Okay, 2 years before we went to the so 97. Okay.
yeah. So so Charlie Ward was what was
Throwing like
pretty
a rag
much
doll.
it was pretty much upended by PJ Brown for no apparent fucking reason whatsoever, and Patrick Ewing was hurt, so
No.
he
Patrick
left
Ewing
the
was there.
bench.
No, he wasn't hurt. He was just on the bench because the game was over. What happened? The starters were on the bench because Miami had already basically won that game. They were already up. Miami was already up by like 10 points or something like that. They were up by double digits. So Ewing was on the bench. Larry Johnson was on the bench. You know, all of the starters were on the bench. So then the scuffle came out, and then all of the starters came out to break the shit up. Allen Houston, Patrick Ewing, all the starters were out there or sitting down. So they all got up, and basically all the starters got suspended. And then that cost us, after being up 3-1, that cost us that series. So yeah, and then it happened with Phoenix and San Antonio when the Robert Horry and Steve Nash scuffle, and then who got suspended? Stoudemire and somebody, was it just Stoudemire? But I know Stoudemire got suspended. I do know that.
I don't remember that series, but I know that cost us against seeing the Bulls again. But yeah, like if you want to go by the law of the rules, like Kevin Love should be suspended.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
But I hope they don't do that.
They already said they're not going to.
Oh, they did.
But then
Okay.
they already confirmed that he's not going to be suspended or so. But then that pissed me off. So I'm just going back 20 years. It just pissed me off.
I'm glad they didn't, because that's how it should have been handled, and that's how this commissioner handles things. He knows, like, all right, we're not gonna ruin the finals because of this. You know what I mean? Like he's just smart enough to know you shouldn't ruin the finals. Like when Draymond Green did what he did, he punched LeBron in the nuts. So that's why he got suspended. Like that, you should get suspended for. Leaving a bench from a spirit of the rule call is you should let go.
He just jumped up and punched LeBron in the nuts.
Yeah,
What type of pussy is
he
he?
was on the ground. LeBron stepped over him, and he went boom, just like that.
Why would you
It
do
was
that?
so fast. Like it was so fast that I was still trying to. Days later, I was still trying to figure out why he got suspended. And then finally, like maybe when I was like, oh, I didn't see that. It was so fast. Like LeBron stepped over, he was just like, and then he started talking shit to him. And then LeBron got so mad. I was like, what happened? Like, and I was like, okay, then I saw what happened. But yeah, so that you should get suspended for. Leaving the bench from something like that, you should not get suspended for. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen. Did they say anything about Tristan Thompson? Is anything gonna happen to him?
No, nothing's gonna happen to any of the players. They said.
Okay, good. Because I was a little worried about Tristan Thompson, and I thought he might get suspended.
I'm more worried about Patrick Ewing 97. How about that? That's what I'm worried about. I'm still pissed off about
Shit,
that.
it wasn't just Patrick Ewing. It was Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, Allen Houston, Chris Childs. Like almost every starter got suspended. They had to. Matter of fact, so many people got suspended. They had to split it up into 2 games. Like Ewing and I think Allen Houston missed the first. No, Ewing and Larry Johnson I think missed the first game. Then they played in game 7, and then like Allen Houston and Chris Childs missed the second game or something like. It was something like that. I just remember they had to split up the suspensions because.
That for some reason. That pisses me off a lot. Like still to this day, it pisses me off.
I'm gonna die, and like I'm gonna be 90 years old, and that's just gonna still bother me. I'm never gonna get over that. I really thought they had a good shot at beating the Bulls that year. Like I thought that would have been a classic series. Like whether they won or lost it, that was going 7, and the Knicks were really really good that year, And the Bulls,
And what you go? And the Bulls just and fucking the Bulls played Miami and
and
ramrodded them.
destroyed them. That pissed me so. I was like, come on. And I knew they was gonna do that. I knew Miami couldn't beat them, and I knew that was gonna happen. And they just, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they swept them.
They swept them.
Yeah. They just. I was like, come on, man. I was so mad. I was just
You know
wanting
what?
to cry watching
Even
that shit.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
Even when they played, even when we played Miami in 90, was it the 99, and we beat them in the first round, that still wasn't enough to me.
No, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
I wanted a ring for that. I was like, we should got a fucking championship.
Yeah.
I was like, I know we want to beat the Bulls
Because they definitely messed up. Well, I think we had a good opportunity. I'm not gonna say we would have beat them. I think that year we had a good chance of beating them. We had split the season series with them. It was like, and the games were all competitive, and we were really good that year. Like we were a really good team that year. Like that was one of our better Knick teams, and within the past 25 years, like that was one of the better teams. And
everybody was healthy. You know
we
what I'm
had,
saying?
I mean, because even the year when we lost to Houston, those teams weren't that good offensively. Like those Knicks teams were just really dominant defensively. They weren't good. Like with the Allen Houston, Chris Childs, Larry Johnson teams, they were a good offense. Marcus Camby, like they were a good offense, on top of being a pretty good defensive team. Like they were well balanced, and I'll never get over that series. I mean, I'll never get over that season. It'll just always be a thing. So anyway, we didn't got off the subject.
Yeah, we did.
So it's good to know that nobody's gonna get suspended, nothing like that, because I don't want that to ruin anything. But what I did notice though about Cleveland, I don't like how upset they were about this loss. I think that
They felt like they had it. They felt like they felt like
right.
they had this.
No, I understand that, but it feels like to me like they feel like they were so close and they're not gonna come that close now. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me. Like they knew they missed the opportunity, and like I want them to be more like they should be angry, but I want them. But it felt like that they were defeated. Like as opposed to just being angry and motivated for the next game, they were down. Tristan Thompson getting into a fight at the end of the game. LeBron getting into it with Steph Curry at the end of the game. It felt like that this got to them so much that they feel like that they can't recover from. That's what it felt like to me. I hope I'm wrong, but that's the vibe I got from them squandering that game. I hope they can just look past it and just move on. But maybe today they'll feel a lot better.
Yeah. I hope that LeBron does. I don't think that they're going to get swept. I really hope that he doesn't get swept because that's just going to give all LeBron haters more ammo to use against him. I'm not a LeBron hater, but I'm not a LeBron lover like you are. But so like that to me that it just doesn't. To me, it's just like I think that he should come back. I think that he should come back. To be honest with you, I would love for him to come back and win this series.
Yeah, it would be so great. Like because this would definitely this would be right up there with the last time they beat Golden State, because that one was great because that was a 73-win team and they were like putting them in a category with the Bulls, which if they would have won that series, I would have been. See me, I still consider that team really, really good, but because they lost to LeBron, I don't look at it as. I mean, it's a disappointment, I'm sure, but if they had just lost to like Oklahoma, if they had lost to Oklahoma City, that'd have been a huge all right, there was a joke, you know what I mean? But because they lost to somebody as great as LeBron, I don't look at it as a joke. They just lost to the best player in the world. So, Bulls fans could rest and relax and say, yeah, we still got the best team. But I'm like, to me, that's a testament to LeBron more than anything. But that they won that series. Golden State lost that series. But either way, this puts him winning this series would put him way up. He would this would be something else. The way this team struggled through the playoffs, and for them to topple Golden State would be something else. But I really don't see it. I mean, I'm more optimistic after seeing last night's game and seeing how well they played on the road in the first game. But I think as the series goes on, Golden State's going to be better, and they're going to separate themselves from them because they're just the better roster.
Well, who's really buying LeBron as an underdog? You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be like, okay, um, he beat a really good team, but who's really buying him as an underdog in any
Yeah.
series?
Well. See, here's the thing. If they do win this, I mean, even his haters gotta give them some respect for this because they just weren't that good of a team this year. They were a fourth seed. They struggled to beat Indiana. They struggled to beat Boston. If they beat the best team, like like the team that is a heavy favorite, like I said yesterday, they were a 13-point underdog to win game one, and they were a couple of questionable things away from winning that game. And like so he's so it's as a team they're an underdog. They're not that good as a team. Like LeBron is great and LeBron can elevate it, but nobody still expects him to win. So I guess if they win, some people will just say, well, he's the best player, he's supposed to win. But at the same time, it's like if y'all know basketball, that team ain't supposed to beat this team. Now they know both teams know each other really well, but Golden State is still way better. And just think last year when they had Kyrie, they almost swept them. You know what I mean? Like they had a better team last year, and they almost swept them. And they had more season championship guys. This year they turned half the roster over, and so and last year's team was clearly better. So if somehow he wins, beats the now. Granted, Golden State's not as good this year. They're not. I don't know what's missing. I know they're not as deep, and they're just not. There's something missing from this team that's not that they're not always clicking. They're not always clicking like they should. But they do have big third quarters, and that makes up for the rest of the game where they're struggling. So, like, but like yesterday they had a big third quarter. Now Cleveland was able to weather the storm, but Cleveland was up by what 9 or 7 at halftime. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
Golden State is up. Next thing you know, in the third quarter, Golden State hit them hard. Next thing you know, Golden State's up by 9, and then but then Cleveland weathered the storm. Then they so that was good. I hope they can keep this consistency. It's gonna be hard, but I mean, put it like this: if they compete again really well in Golden State, even if they lose, if they compete really well again in Golden State, then I think Golden State's in for a long series. Even if they win the next game.
Okay. Well, let's say the obvious prediction happens and Golden State wins in five.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, av- with Cleveland, what happens then?
Well, I don't know what they're going to be in the tank because LeBron's leaving. So if LeBron, if
I don't know where LeBron's going. You know, we've
I
had
don't
this
either.
discussion before, like plenty of times in this podcast alone. But I wouldn't know where LeBron's going. They've when I say they, I mean other mainstream media, sports sources. ESPN, Bleacher Report. They've talked about LeBron going to Philly, and I actually heard one. I'm not sure who it was. I heard one of the sportscasters say that he doesn't really fit in Philly. They said the same thing we said. He doesn't
Yeah,
really fit in Philly because they don't have anybody to kick the ball out to.
right,
You can't get the ball to Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons can't shoot.
right. Well,
He's more of a point guard than anything.
from what I heard was as not as far as the Philly thing. I heard that if you went there, I actually already heard that he put it out there to somebody to some source that he won't mind playing off the ball. So if that does change things. Now that doesn't work well in Houston because playing off the ball means you're standing there shooting threes.
And
But
he's a decent 3 point shooter as
but
we've
that
seen in
but
the past few weeks.
but that's not what we want LeBron
That's
doing.
not LeBron's game.
No.
He's not a sit. He's not that type of not that type of player. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
right.
I'm not sure. Like if even though you think that he would fit well in Houston, maybe he will. But you got too many ball handlers there. At
Yeah,
that point, you got too many
yeah.
guys who can just handle the ball.
I mean, now see me. I look at it like this. I think at that point you take the ball out of James Harden's hands and let him play off the ball. Maybe not just sit there and shoot threes, but you just mix it up. You can I think it could work. I think D'Antoni could find that way to make that work. I really do. Like, I did doubt the James Harden Chris Paul thing. I think it worked great. I think LeBron would only make that much better. I think you can just mix it up. Like you can let LeBron take over for a little while. You can let Harden take over. Let Chris Paul take over for a little while. That way, not one player gets tired. You can let people rest. You can let LeBron rest. God knows LeBron could use some goddamn rest. So I think it would actually work. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I personally would like to see that. As far as Philly, I'm not. I'm slightly warming up to it because in Philly, him playing off the ball would be him just being a primary scorer. I don't think he would be like just sitting there hitting threes. He would be doing a lot more. He would be just a primary. You know what I mean? He would just be their primary scorer at that point, and he would still create, but it would be more of a after Ben Simmons hits him off, he try to score, but they're going to try to like. I can see that working. It now. If after I heard that he wants to play, he would like to play off the ball. I could see that working with them. Like not, as long as he has the right mind, as long as he has that mindset where he's playing off the ball and he knows Ben Simmons is running the offense. I can see that working. But I mean, I could also see by the end of the season they're reverting to being LeBron's offense. But
that'll be end of the week. It wouldn't be the end of the season. It'll be by game 3 or 4.
But that would be a problem for Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons
exactly. It would be a problem for Ben Simmons, but it wouldn't matter because LeBron's there.
Right, and they would be in the finals. So when it would be a problem for Simmons, but in the end they would still be in the finals.
That's what I'm saying. Like LeBron's there, so Ben Simmons, he wouldn't exactly be able to develop, leadership. As far as like being comfortable in the leadership role when you got LeBron just coming in and taking over, right. LeBron brings a problem to any team. That's why I kind of see where Kyrie is going with that. Like from the outside looking in, from us looking at a team, everyone must love LeBron being on a team to take over and win championships, but everybody doesn't want to be a role player.
Right.
Especially guys who are really talented.
Right.
Like Kyrie Irving doesn't see himself as what we see him as. He sees himself as the next fucking coming.
Right. And, I mean, look at Kobe. I mean, we all know Kobe is that guy. But that's the same thing. He didn't want to be Shaq's little brother no more. No matter how many championships they won, he's like, you know what? I want to lead teams to a championship. I don't want Shaq to be the MVP. I want to be the MVP. So yeah, I mean, if you're that good, I always understood that. Like, yeah, if you're that good,
and plus you gotta understand, and we see it now. But look at Shaq's personality. Mm-hmm. Like who want to be like the second best player because he'll let you keep going. He'll just keep letting you know that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's my team. It's my team. It's my team. Like he's like a big baby. You know what I'm saying? So do I blame Kobe? All these years later, I don't blame Kobe for saying, like he can say whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm tired of dealing with that shit. Mm-hmm. Like I want to be the man in this team. Get this motherfucker out of here.
and by the way, LeBron was kind of doing that to Kyrie. Like not like Shaq was doing it, but like in that kind of making it like Kyrie's the little brother type. Kyrie don't want to hear that. Like he's like, no, I know his little brother. I'm just as good as anybody. Which he's not just as good as anybody, but he's really good. he's a top 15 player in the league. But he's like, but no, like you're not. And he was having a good season before he got hurt, but he's not. I don't consider him the leader of that team. I consider Brad Stevens like same thing with San Antonio. How Greg Popovich is the man on that team. Like Brad Stevens is the guy on Boston. Those are only two teams in the league where I look at the coach as the best player. You know what I mean? Like I don't look at as the best player as the leader. I look at the coach as the leader, and the players just play the system. So
yeah. And Kyrie, can you really see him leading an offense? Even though he's a point guard, he's not really a leader of an offense.
He's a new age point guard, like him, Curry, Westbrook. Like they're scorers. So like they're so like although I would say Westbrook and Curry are better point guards than Kyrie Irving. They're all scorers though. They're all scorers who play point guard. You know what I mean? So it's a little different nowadays. Like nowadays, same thing with Damian Lillard. Like every good point guard in the league are 20 plus scores. So they're like 25 plus scores actually. So like they're the best scorers on their team in these cases. I mean, so it's a different league now. Like the point guard, I don't know. It's just different. So
I would actually pose this question to one of those sports groups that I'm in on Facebook. I actually posed this question. I couldn't get a straight answer from anybody. I said, would you rather have your guard average 25 points and 12 assists, or 30 points and 8 assists? Everyone said, "Oh, well, who win the game? Who win the game?" I was just like, "Don't worry about who will win the game."
right.
Well, what would you rather? What if you had a point guard, knowing that point guard A was going to do 25 and 12, or point guard B was going to do 30 and 8? Which one do you think you could win more games with?
I would rather have 25 and 12 personally.
A lot. Okay. Okay.
If it's my point guard.
Okay. That's what a lot of people have. That's a lot of people have said. But you would be fucking wrong, just like they are. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because think about all the players throughout the NBA the past like 20 seasons who've averaged 20 and 10. How many of those players won MVP? I mean, won championships. One.
Okay, one. All right.
Magic Johnson.
Okay.
All the rest of the players who've done 20 and 10 don't even get out the first fucking round.
Okay.
Westbrook, Chris Paul, Tim Hardaway, Kevin Johnson, he got the first round. Jason Kidd never did 20 and 10.
No.
Darren Williams, he didn't get the first round in Jersey. All those players who've done those numbers have not got the first round. When you want to talk about a guard, not just a point guard, a guard. If you're gonna put anybody as a guard, you can like Steph Curry. How many guys have averaged like 30 and 8 have won championships? You can name like Dwayne Wade. You can't put him as a point guard, but I'm talking about guard period. Dwayne Wade, Steph Curry.
You talking about averaging in the playoffs or averaging during the season?
I'm talking about during the season. I'm sorry,
Okay.
not during the playoffs. During the season.
Okay. So Dwayne Wade averaged 30 and 8.
Yeah.
Oh.
During that one season that he, not the season that he went to a championship.
Okay.
But when he led the league in scoring that one year.
Okay. So there's a flaw. There's a flaw in your in your stats then. So yeah,
Steph did it.
Okay, Steph did it. All right, that's fair. But I mean,
Michael Jordan did it.
Okay, all right, all right.
Michael Jordan. There's not many players that have averaged 30 and 8.
Right.
Not many.
All right, yeah, that's fair. I mean, did LeBron do it? I'm sure LeBron did it, right? Well, he's not a guard though, but just players.
Yeah, well, you don't talk about guards, but he's done it.
Right.
But if you want to talk about players, like that. So when we talk about 25, 20 and 10, that's like no one's done that throughout their entire career. No, like you only got special seasons where guys have done 20 and 10 as far as 20 points and 10 assists. You don't get guys who can do it like consistently for like years and years and years. That just doesn't happen.
Right.
But like guys who've done 30 and 8, there's only like a couple guys who've done that.
Right. All right. Yeah. I mean, now see me. Yeah, if you're just going to look at those stats, it's easy to say, one thing or another. But see me, I would, if I had to look at all the numbers all together, I'd be looking at field goal percentage. Also, I'd be looking at, definitely field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. I'd be looking at percentages too, because if you're efficient, like nobody's more efficient than LeBron. But like then you got guys like Curry who's very efficient. You got Durant who since he's been in Golden State has been very efficient. He's always been a great scorer, but he's more efficient now without Westbrook. So yeah, like you got like that's when I would start looking like, all right.
The only thing you're doing is eliminating Westbrook. So go ahead and just say
well,
it.
yeah. I mean, I wasn't trying to do that, but yeah, I guess. I mean, like I would just start looking at efficiency, and I mean, because when you think, I mean, but not just Westbrook, but like there's a lot of guys in the league that are good scorers and good players, but like, and in today's
Westbrook is a king of those guys. He's a
he is
he's a king.
he is.
He wears a number of the same guy who was also inefficient at that position, Gilbert Arenas.
Oh.
People don't, people forget about him because he
for good reason.
He's been here and there and not really
bringing the
been
guns
in
to
the
the
league
locker
for
room and doing the gun dance.
yeah, like what I'm saying, because he's a dick. He's a tool. That's what he is.
Yeah,
that's why he didn't get another chance in the NBA.
A lot of people that's gonna get forgot about Steve Francis.
Steve Francis, he's a sad situation if you know anything about him.
I know a little bit.
but he's out there on drugs, so he doesn't look like himself anymore.
I'm like, where's Coutinho Mobley when you need him? Like, help out your boy, man.
Yeah, Coutinho. I'm never mind. Let's just move on.
Yeah, I know where you're going to go with that.
Let's just move on from that.
Let's just leave it at that. But yeah, I guess we'll move on to something else. We didn't talk. We were talking about the playoffs the whole time, and we just was like branching off here and there. But all right, so the Peyton Manning PED situation. Tell me a little bit about what you know about that, because this just came to light to me like right before we started the show.
Okay, a few years ago on Al Jazeera, a report came out about Peyton Manning getting HGH and other human growth hormones delivered to his home. Now, he denied this and said that, this is it's all rumors and innuendo. It's not true. I never get HGH. I've been tested and everything's all right. And then it came out that his wife, that the HGH was coming to his house. Then he threw his wife under the bus. Oh, that goddamn Jenny! She's taking HGH. She's trying to. She's working out for the Olympic team, and her spiral's not coming out right. So she's taking HGH. So he threw her under the bus a few years ago. Then he played in his last shitty season and went away. So if you would notice that after the report came out originally, before the report came out, Peyton Manning threw 5,000 yards and had like 50 touchdowns and went to the Super Bowl and got fucking murdered. After the report came out, Peyton Manning started to look like an old man. Even though he did win a Super Bowl after that, it had everything to do. They wanted to spite him. The Denver Broncos wanted to spite him. Yeah. Not because of him. Right. So
So what's gonna happen now? Are they gonna so let's just say it comes out, he's proven that he used or whatever. So what now? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna start trying to take records from him? What are they gonna do? They can't suspend him.
Well, they can't suspend him, but they'll come up with if it comes out that he was definitely using. I don't know what they'll do. This is something that's new. They've never this is not like college football where they can say, "Oh, you never won the MVP and you never won that." Right. They can't. They're not going to do that. They're never going to do that. I can't say never.
What about the Hall of Fame though? Do you think he'll
the Hall of Fame? Even though he's a first ballot, this guy carried the NFL on his fucking back. He was the face of the NFL for all the time that he played for his entire run. Yep. He was the face of the NFL. It wasn't Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a guy just winning the championships. But Peyton Manning.
Now, I think Brady's better, but Peyton Manning was the face. You're right. Yes.
Peyton Manning was the face because he had all the records. He was saying the things that needed to be said. He was on all the commercials. He was always smile. He was always Mr. Corporate. That he had the pedigree, number 1 overall pick. On a team that was always in the playoffs. Didn't have any of this Spygate shit around him. Yeah. Kind of like Brady's team. Brady just got put under the mud in the past couple seasons. Mm-hmm. He wasn't involved with the other shit that Bill Belichick and his
Right.
and his
But
ilk
he was on the
involved in it.
team, so in a sense, it still kind of affects him in a sense. But I personally don't look at it that way. But there are things. There's just things there that are there. But
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
that being
those are
said,
those are perceptions. But then when he got that football thing where which really, to be honest with you, is fucking so it's fucking bullshit. It doesn't mean anything.
yeah,
It means nothing. Like it means absolutely nothing. I was like, why? Every time I heard it on the news, and I'm not a Brady hater. There's nothing for me to hate for me to hate the Patriots about. What the fuck do I care? Um, but like I just got tired of it. I was like, I don't care if he's deflating the fucking balls. I don't
yeah, I
care.
think yeah, especially since they played better in the second half of that game when the balls weren't deflated. Like it's like who cares? They deflated balls, whatever. Like, um,
But going back to Peyton Manning, if it does come out that that he was using HGH, then there'll be some unprecedented shit that will happen. You
yeah.
know, like he
Honestly,
wouldn't
honestly,
be.
I don't think that. Well, you never know with Roger Goodell, but personally, they probably just won't even. They'll probably just let it go. They probably won't even.
He's super under the rug.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because I think they kind of tried to do that anyway. Like they kind of tried to not make your story get that big anyway. So I think that they don't want to do that to Peyton Manning and the Manning family. And they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna pretend like, let's just hope this doesn't come up again, and we'll just leave it at that. But I don't think. I think now. I think maybe they might make him. Now I don't think they'll keep him out of the Hall of Fame, but they may do a TO, not let him get in first ballot or something like that. But I don't think they'll keep him out. He was
If they do that, that's acknowledging that. If they do that, then that's pretty much acknowledging that it's true.
right.
And
But I don't think. But I don't think it's at that point.
if this story gets legs, if it becomes something on its own where other football players are starting to say, well, if that were me, then this and that, and
Right.
this and that, and then and then you know what's happening right now in the NFL is it'll become a racial issue. It'll
Yes.
become if it was a black player, that wouldn't have happened.
Right. Yeah.
He wouldn't have got that pass.
Right. Right. And like, and and I think. See, the thing is, everybody likes and respects Peyton so much that I don't think it. I think it would definitely have to be some definitive stuff. First of all, for it to become a real issue, like 'cause right now it's there, but nobody cares that much. Like nobody's, it's not becoming a real major story, and it still hasn't. So I think nobody wants, because to me personally, I think he did it. I think he was trying to get healthy, and he tried to do what he did whatever it took to get healthy. And me, I'm personally fine with it. Like I don't think he was doing it to enhance his performance. I think he was doing it to get back on the field. And
But that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of players do that, and they get caught and they get suspended.
Right.
So it's not fair for, to be honest, it's not fair for him to get away with it, and they bear the whole brunt of it. You know what I'm saying? Like so he's getting the big contracts, all the money, and when he gets caught out there, like nothing happens. So it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so why can't I do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why I want to have the money that he's got. Maybe I'm not the type of player as he is. Maybe I'm a defensive end. I want to get all the money I can. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay on the court. I want to play. Like, if you're gonna make it legal for him, make it legal for me. It's only fair. Right. He bleeds the same blood I am. You know what I'm saying? What's so different between the two of us?
Oh, he's a great NFL player.
Huh?
He's the great NFL player. That's the difference between him and the rest of them. Nah, but I know what you're saying. He's like, yeah, I mean, and I totally 100% agree with you. Like you can't just. Now the thing is, I don't think they had enough evidence. He never failed a test, so it's hard to. Like in football, usually they just basically, it's not like baseball. With baseball, we'll buy that report and all of that. Football just straight up, if you fail a test, you get suspended. Nobody's gotten us suspended for accusations. People got suspended for failing a test. So he's never failed a test. So for them,
Barry Bonds never failed a test.
Say it again.
Barry Bonds never failed a test.
I'm talking about football though. I'm back on football. That's what I said. That's what I said. Baseball, yeah, baseball they go by allegations, and you can get shitted on in baseball. Football, no. Football is basically straight up. If you fail a test, you're getting suspended. Baseball was like like you were on this report. Now all of a sudden you're being vilified. Like football, it was and not only that. I think football it's kind of not as big of a stigma anyway because people kind of expect that they all use it anyway, and I don't know. I just don't think it's as big of a story in football. People have gotten suspended in football, and I don't remember who got suspended or, like, you know what I mean. It's not even. It's never really a big story when players get suspended for it. Baseball is always a story. Football, it's never a story. So
that's the thing. But baseball should have. They did that to themselves.
Yeah,
they shot
right.
themselves in the foot.
Right.
And they just kept going and going and going with it. So it made it so much of a big story where it should not have been.
Right.
If they would have just made it legal in 1998, there would be no issues right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm still not on board with that, but
I'm completely on board with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's medicine. Like anything else, it's medicine. It's medicine.
Yeah, but
It is what it is. You know, like back in the '80s, you would get steroids from some guy. It's like more like a drug dealer, but like right now you get them from pharmacists and doctors. So
yeah,
like
if you have,
I
if
can
you
take
have a
steroids.
pro-
Me and you can take steroids.
yeah, but
Me
if we
and
have
you, and it's
yeah,
completely
but
legal.
if we have an issue with something that requires it, we can't just buy it over the counter, right?
But like me and you can go to a doctor. Like a doctor can
Yes.
we can say like, hey, we need this because we need to recover. But it's kind of like they can go to a doctor and do the same thing. So why not let them do it? I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, as far as recovery, I'm fine with it. I don't think they should.
I don't care what they do.
Well, see, I don't agree with using it on a regular basis because I mean,
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. We had this conversation before because then that pretty much pushes out anybody who doesn't want to do steroids.
Then that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if
No,
I'm like
no, no, no.
if I'm this way, if I'm going to use medicine to get better, it's medicine. It's the same thing that anyone can get. You know what I'm saying? If you make it completely legal and let anyone use it, then
no.
If you don't want to use it, that's on you.
No, to get better is one thing. To use it just to be, I mean, no. You mean get better medically or get better performance wise?
You're not going to get better performance wise because
yes, you are.
If you're good, like the steroids not going to make you hit a fucking ball.
Steroids,
you know what I'm saying?
No,
the only thing steroids
can make
do,
you go from,
the only thing steroids do is grow muscle.
Listen,
and make you heal.
Steroids made Barry Bonds a 70 home run hitter. Nobody.
Barry Bonds hit that ball. You know, like that. Steroids didn't help him hit a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like he still was good.
Okay, but he didn't hit. He wasn't hitting 70 home runs. he wasn't an automatic home run. If you don't walk him, it was automatic. Like he was gonna hit a home run. Like that's what steroids did for somebody as good as Barry Bonds. That's what steroids did for somebody as good as.
That's the thing. You have to understand what steroids is and what it does. Steroids is not going to help you. It's not going to help your coordination. It's not going to.
Actually, I heard it does help your focus.
No, it doesn't. The only thing steroids does is help grow your muscle back. It helps you. It helps you grow muscle mass.
Okay,
and
whatever.
And you know, like it speeds up the healing process.
So are you denying that if Barry Bonds wasn't on steroids, he would have hit 70 home runs? Is that what you're telling me?
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I still think that he would have hit like 70 home runs. Why not?
Oh my god.
Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like if it means more home runs, who cares?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like
you
know what I'm saying? Like maybe he would have got hurt. Maybe he would have got worn out. You know what I'm saying? Like, but why wouldn't I want something that's going to help? You know, eliminate lactic acid in my muscles.
Now see on the surface, I could understand that, but when you look at it, see, this is how I look at it. I look at it like this: like there's gonna be guys in the league that are pretty good players. That I mean, because this just affect make or miss in the roster. It affects salaries and contracts. Like a guy like for instance, like a regular like. A guy that doesn't want to take steroids because
that's his fucking fault. Let him not make it then.
Okay, but there has
cares?
But see, the thing is it's another thing for it to be that, but
how much
it's
people,
also had
how much people don't want to take anybody who doesn't want to take the medicine that's gonna make them better. It's kind of like, why should I care? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like people who don't take vaccines.
Okay, but there's health issues that come with that. So that come with taking steroids. Like people have had.
There are none.
There's people that have taken steroids that have had heart attacks and died, and they're saying that it was probably
those people who have all right. If you want to go to people who have died taking steroids, they've taken other drugs too, and plus they've taken them wrong.
Well, see, the thing is, we don't know one way or another.
Yes,
we don't know. In every case, we know. We don't know.
Whenever somebody dies, they do a toxicology test on them, and all the times those people die, when they do a toxicology test, it shows what's in their bloodstream, and it's never steroids killed them. No, steroids don't kill anybody. It's always like barbiturates or some shit. Somebody would take drugs.
Okay, but even just despite the dying part, there was people that bodies. People
name me one person that dies.
Okay, but people who have bodies break, like people's bodies are just not. Once they stop using it, they're all fucked up. Like, so my thing is, if you don't want to do that to your body,
really. Like, I'm gonna need you to name me one person who died of steroids. It doesn't happen.
I can't remember the guy's name. It was a baseball player who was an ex-steroid user. Who they said it may. And again, I don't even know. I'm just saying it may have contributed to that. I didn't say it definitely did.
I'm telling you it doesn't. Steroids doesn't.
Okay, Mr. Doctor. But
I don't have to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Steroids doesn't kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? That it just gets a negative connotation because drugs are bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just say drugs are bad. Plus they're illegal.
Okay, let's forget about the dying part. Like I said, all right, let's throw that out the window. Even people that have stopped using it and their body just isn't the same, like their body breaks down, injury, stuff like that. So if you choose that you don't want that to happen to your body, but you have to take steroids to be in the league, that's not right.
Hold up. People who stop taking steroids, I don't see them. Their body's not breaking down. I don't see Barry Bonds.
Alex Rodriguez.
Hold on. I don't see Barry Bonds or anybody who was previously using steroids.
Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez is fine. He's dating J-Lo. He's fine.
His body broke down. Listen,
he's old now. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what does that have to do with his body breaking down?
He's fine.
He couldn't play baseball anymore because his body.
He's not playing baseball because he's old.
No, he couldn't at the time. Listen. He couldn't play baseball because his body was breaking down. Like, once he stopped
using steroids,
old. and because of the steroid, like
no. How can you blame the steroids for something that it helps? You know what I'm saying? Like, his body was breaking down because he got old. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of miles on him. You can't just say he stopped. His body broke down because of steroids. He got old. You know what I'm saying? Barry Bonds could have still played.
He was on steroids.
Barry Bonds was fine. He could still play. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? His ability went down. You know what I'm saying? That it's kind of like everybody gets old. It doesn't matter how much steroids you take. You're old. Everybody's gonna get old. Everybody. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this connotation that steroids somehow hurt you, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take it the right way, of course it's not gonna hurt you. If you have, like, one of your boys shoot you in the ass while you're in the locker room, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, then of course you're gonna get fucked up because you're giving yourself a whole, like, I can shoot myself full of fucking insulin right now and I'll fucking drop dead in the middle of my sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not gonna help me. It's not gonna help anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, if you have a doctor and they've done this, if you have a doctor give you steroids and put you on a fucking regimen, then you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what they do in Russia? That's the reason why we don't have them at the Olympics, because all of them are on steroids. Every single fucking one of them. All of them. That's why we banned them from the Olympics, because everyone else is like, everyone else is like, we don't use steroids. We don't use them. Like, why? Use it. But what you go? The Russians, when they were using, they were beating the shit out of everybody. So why don't we use it?
Because,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
I don't like. I just me personally, I just don't like.
That's you.
me and obviously the people that are in charge, because they don't. Because it's not legal.
What you go? Like, doesn't make you right. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you right.
But if you're, it takes something away from it if you're enhancing yourself in that way.
If me and you take steroids, can you hit a fucking baseball, 70 fucking baseballs?
Okay, but no,
if me or you,
I'm not making that argument. What I'm saying is, if I don't want to see you superhuman people just because they're using a drug. I want to see their natural ability.
It's medicine. It's the same thing as anything. You know what I'm saying?
I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it the same.
So hold up. You don't appreciate so what you would rather be like? So why don't you get rid of all the drugs? Why don't you say okay, vaccines? I don't want to see anybody get these superhuman immune systems. You know,
I'm talking about sports.
Don't take any
I'm talking about sports
and just do everything naturally.
We're talking about sports, not
we're
everyday life.
talking about.
I'm talking about sports
in your body.
I'm talking about sports though.
We're talking about we're talking about what you put in your body. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you know what I'm saying? Like how about any type of medication you put in your body you know what I'm saying?
And like I said, if they were using it to recover,
what kind of does that mean?
And again, if they're using it to recover from injury, I am fine with it.
I don't care.
I do.
Nobody. Why? Why does that matter?
To me, I'm gonna tell you what.
If a doctor gives it to him, what does it matter?
To me, it takes away.
If they're recovering faster.
To me, it takes something away from the game. Like if
why does it take away from the game?
Let me tell you. I mean, if everybody's using it, because look, everybody in the sport is obviously
pretty.
Let
them use it. Who cares?
Let me finish. If everybody's using it, and everybody's skills are gonna get elevated in a sense. I think that waters it down. I think that waters down.
What's going to get elevated is they're not going to get tired as much, which is a fucking miracle. It's just like we found something that's going to help players recover and you know, like do amazing things. Let's keep it away because reasons. Like, makes no sense.
To me, it waters down the sport. Like I don't.
It doesn't water down anything.
I don't like.
What you go like if you're good enough to make the MLB, and then you're good enough. It doesn't matter what you take. You're gonna be good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get there, if they get you on a regiment, that's gonna if they get you on a good regiment. That's going to help you recover and do whatever you need to do. It doesn't matter what type of drugs you take, as long as you're in the game. So, I mean, like, just imagine if they were giving that to Chris Paul, he'd be fucking playing. Just imagine if they were just imagine if they were giving it to a bunch of other players who break down. They'd be fucking playing. They'd be fine. So. Why I don't understand. I don't understand the logic. There's no logic. There is no logical reason why steroids could be used. The only thing I get from anyone who talks about why steroids shouldn't be used is emotions, and emotions are not logic.
Okay, well, emotions are a part of life. Logic is a part of life. They're both a part of life. So that's why you can't take emotion out of you can't take emotion out of anything. When it comes to reason and when it comes to facts, you can definitely take emotions out. Like you can only deal with logic. But when
it comes to things like medicine, and science, and sports, you can take emotions out. You can deal with science.
Well, logic. Well. No, you can't take it out. You can't take it.
Yes, you can.
It's never gonna happen. Well, it's never gonna happen.
Yes, it is. What do you think? How much you think is that? What you're doing is you're projecting, saying it's never gonna happen because of your feelings. Your feelings.
My emotions, right? My emotions. My emotions.
Your feelings are on you. You know, so everybody has feelings. That doesn't.
And it's always going to be a factor.
Hold on. Let me finish. That doesn't really turn over to fact. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a feeling. You know what I'm saying? But when you deal with facts, you have to take emotions out of it. You have to take feelings out of it. You have to go with facts and figures. but you have to go with science. You have to go with what makes sense. Feelings don't make sense logically. So if you're going to say I don't want it because I feel that, so your feelings mean more than my feelings, so that's why you have to take it out. You have to put logic in. So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, like your feelings may be different from mine, as it obviously is. So what makes your feelings more important than mine? So, well, if you take feelings out of it, then you deal with facts and logic. So, and logic says this is a medicine that works. Why are we not using it? Give me a logical answer why we're not using it. There is none.
All right.
The only thing is
that's how. But that's your opinion. That's
no,
how you see it.
That's not opinion. That's a fact. Like the only thing, there's no logic. There's no logic.
In your head, there's no other way to look at it.
No,
in my
there's no
head,
logical
there's
argument.
other ways to
If you
look at
give me
it.
a logical argument that has something to do with not emotions, then I could be swayed with a logical argument. I can't be swayed with emotions. Give me a logical argument. If you can give me a logical argument that's going to sway me, then I'll listen. But if you say because I feel, then I just cut everybody up. I'm like, nope, no feelings. Okay. Let's just deal with logic here.
Okay.
Deal with facts and
Fair enough. All right. So, anything else you want to add to it? Because I think it's time to wrap this up.
Why do we wait so long to get into a fucking argument?
I know. I know. I was thinking the same. I was sitting there thinking like, this is the first real heated argument. Well, this is the second one. The first one never made it because we had to. I forgot what happened, but that's gonna be in our lost episodes.
That's gonna be a lost episode somewhere.
But so yeah, guys, that's basically it. Tune in next week. We're gonna. I guess by next week, it'll be about 4 or 5 games played in the finals. Hopefully, the finals are still going by then.
Yeah, hopefully it's still going. We forgot to do the 10 greatest power forwards, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, we had we went off on a lot of tangents today. So like we weren't supposed to talk about all this stuff. But matter of fact, there's stories that we didn't get to.
Well, you know what? We'll keep that for after the finals. Right. You know, it doesn't matter.
And just real quick, just to give you a quick update. I brought up the NHL Stanley Cup Finals last week. Their series with the Vegas Knights and the Washington Capitals is tied at 1, and they play again tomorrow night. So I'm not gonna be talking about much about it, but I will give you all the updates since I did start talking about. I'm going with the expansion team. I would have went with Washington because I wanted to see Ovechkin win, but I think I just want to see the expansion team win more.
Well, I'm going with the expansion team because I'm tired of Russians winning anything in America.
Okay.
That's just my bottom line. I'm tired of Russians just winning shit in America.
That's racist.
Okay.
Kind of, right? Kind of. But all right, guys, that's it. Email us, please, because again, still no emails. Lemar and LJ at gmail.com. That's LEMARANDLJ at gmail.com. I'm not gonna promote anything else this week, but that's about it. Check out our website that I'm gonna put in the description of the podcast and the description of the YouTube channel. It gives you access to everything that we have, our Facebook, our Twitter, everything is up there, our YouTube channel, so you can just go straight to there from there. So, anything else you want to add?
I'm trying to think.
All right, he's got nothing. All right. See y'all next time. I got nothing. All right. Brick.